Valentine's Day, make it your 3-day weekend in 2025 on Bolivar Peninsula with family. Enjoy fresh seafood and 27 miles of beachfront. Hey everybody, I'm David with Bolivar Live, and once again it's Real Estate Talk 3.0, but we're going to do a little bit of different show this time. Norma called me the other week and said, David, I've got some customers that watch your show, and I told her that her bill would go up 15% this next year, but that's beside the point. But I'm here with Sharon.
That's right.
And they're from Canada. And we're going to talk a little bit about their experience, not only buying a home on Bolivar, but what they're having to go through being from Canada, buying something in the U.S., and the experience they're having and why they're doing it. And so let's talk about, how'd you find Bolivar? I mean, we're like the opposite end of land from Canada.
So how we found Bolivar is we've been coming to Texas for about 9 years now.
For winters?
Yep, and we used to always go down to South Padre Island, but we liked the drive coming through. We avoid Houston, and we would come through here, and then we would stay for free at Winnie in their little campground, just like an overnighter. And we just love the vibe here. You know, we love, and that's what drew us back to decide to come here, it's just, there's no high rises. And there's no
commercial,
in
franchises,
like all those franchises. And you can have that if you want to. Just a nice little ferry ride to Galveston. We enjoy the ferry ride to Galveston. The other thing that we like about Bolivar Peninsula is that it's only an hour and a half from the Houston airport. If family or friends want to come visit us down here, and it was always very expensive and everything for family to then take that extra flight or the extra 5-hour drive to come down to South Padre. Okay. One more thing is that I've noticed, and I check it all the time because we've got joint issues. We're getting old, right? So today, for example, down in South Padre, the humidity is about 94%. And here I checked it, I think it was 58%. So that makes it not only feel, even though it's 5 degrees cooler technically, it doesn't feel 5 degrees colder. And it's easier on everything.
So hang on. So keep in mind, they drive down here. They have an RV and they drive all the way down here. So they don't fly in. So they make the trek down here for how many months do y'all stay?
So we typically leave at the end of October, just before the snow, and then we wait till the snow's gone. You know, we go home around mid-April. Yeah.
And when she's talking snow, you know, we just had snow a while back. And we were talking 2 or 3 inches, and it shuts down.
That was a lot of snow for us.
Yeah, it shuts down, you know, Houston, everything, because we're not used to it. But Norma sent me a picture, and maybe we'll have it to throw in here. When she's talking snow, it's like up to the bottom of a stop sign, you know. And she said, the other week we had 4 feet of snow like that. And so can you imagine 4 feet of snow? What it would do down here. I mean, we get a ½ inch of ice and no one knows how to drive that. But let's talk about now, one of the reasons why you're buying the home here is it's the season.
It's the season, that's right. So, so we've decided, when we first decided to come here, we thought we were going to buy a nice little property and build or buy an RV port. Right? But then once we spent some time here, we realized, you know, the homes are reasonably priced. Maybe we're done RVing. We've been doing it for 9 years. And it just makes sense that that you can purchase a home, enjoy it for the whole winter season, do your maintenance, do whatever you need to do, and then have a vacation rental company like Cobb or whatever take care of the summer rentals for you, and that subsidizes the cost of the home ownership. And when we're comparing that to the cost of all the maintenance and the depreciation on the RV and the cost of the insurance and the big pickup truck that we have to haul it and the extra fuel, and it's kind of like, you know, it's time to make a change. Yeah.
Let's get to the banking part, because there's a difference in funds in Canada and the U.S. For someone in Canada to buy a home down here, what steps do you have to take to make it flow right? And how far should you start in advance?
So first you have to find a good realtor. So that's what I'm.
There we go. Which we managed
You
to
know,
do.
she gets her feelings hurt if we're not talking to Norma over there, so she has to throw her 2 cents.
And a pipe in.
But what's it like working to buy? Because I know, you know, if a U.S. citizen wants to buy certain areas, they have to get like an agent or something. What do y'all have to do in order to buy down here? And do you get your loan from a U.S. mortgage company, or do you get it from a Canadian?
Right. So we're going through that process, and it's all new to us. And one thing I would do differently, and I would suggest to anyone considering doing this, is go get your pre-approval, get that process started right away. And for some people, it's simple, and it can be done in a few days because they've got, you know, income and blah, blah, blah. But when you're retired and you've been self-employed, it can take a week or two before you get your pre-approval. And now you're kind of flying blind on what you're buying. Right? So that's one thing. But what happened was we contacted our bankers in Canada, and our mortgage people in Canada for our properties there happens to be the Royal Bank. And other banks do it as well. I've heard Scotia and some other banks have affiliates in the United States. So then what they did was they sent a referral to a Royal Bank affiliate in
North
the
Carolina.
United States. It's actually North Carolina is who I'm dealing with. So that came as a referral, and then we go from there. And so then from there, it's just, you know what, make sure you have your documentation, and you just upload it to a portal. So I'm going through that process now, waiting to hear back.
Okay.
But number one thing I would do differently in the future is to start that process sooner.
So it's a little different there because she was informing me, because this is my first transaction excuse me, with a foreign buyer, is that in Canada they don't have pre-approvals. They have approvals. So you submit all your documents and you get approved. So you know exactly how much you can afford, and there's no
skating around.
Well,
yes. So it's
it's sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah, because actually, so you don't have to do that pre-approval like you said. But the deal can then fall through if you buy something.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
And so we actually managed to get our favorite property in Canada because someone else, their financing fell through. Yeah, but what's different here is that you don't, the seller has no idea what your financing situation is or any of that. Like, it's just not part of it.
Yes. That she's talking about in Canada, they don't know. But here, most sellers want a pre-approval to know that their credit was checked, that they looked at their bank statements and so forth, to kind of get an idea if the buyer is
legit.
Yeah. So, but it's totally different up there. So when I was talking to her about submitting an offer on a home, we'll have to get a pre-approval, and that's when I found out, oh, well, she started the process. She said, I already loaded all of my documents to the portal. Will have approval rather than a pre-approval.
Right.
So it's a little different.
Okay. What's your experience? You've been down here now for a while looking at homes. What have you seen that you like? What have you seen that you don't like? Not on homes and the area, because there's pros and cons to everything. And we've talked about the pros, but what are some cons?
Well, that's a good question.
And a lot of people don't ever talk cons.
Yeah.
But there's always room to improve, and it must not be, my thought was, it's not that bad or you wouldn't be moving down here. And so from Bolivar, you said you love the vibes, you love the no high rises, and it's one of those communities where I've got a writing that says where it's the owner that opens before sunrise and closes after the sun sets. There's no big chain stores. What's some of the what's a con that caught you by surprise down here?
That's a good question, and I
or are we perfect?
Well, you You know what? You're pretty good. I will say that this really suits my husband and myself really, really well. And friends are coming to stay with us and at the Plop RV. They're coming to join us there, which we absolutely talk about being surprised is that the Texas welcome, the Texas friendliness is just unbelievable. And we are enjoying it staying there so much. But where was I going with that? One thing that some of our friends might say, well, they would like to see, a little more live entertainment at the restaurants on a regular basis, and that's because that's what they look for. Right. You know what I mean?
Well, and we
don't go to restaurants.
Yeah, it's this time of
seasonal.
year. So in the summertime, I don't know if you haven't been here in the summer. Well, when you purchase your home, maybe you'll make it down here in the summertime. I mean, it's it's happening.
This is an off season, and Bolivar's grown tremendously over the since Ike. And
really since COVID. I mean, truly.
Well, we grew by leaps and bounds during COVID, but we're real seasonal down here, and you're down here in the wintertime, but in the summertime, it's a whole different ballgame. I mean, it's night and day, black and white, because you can't just walk into the store and park up close. You may park at the back of the parking lot, walk in. In the restaurants, you may not get a table like that. I've seen bigger parties have to wait 2 or 3 hours, but that's when we have the music. And right now, Noddy's has some. Stingery is starting their music back about spring break. Margaritaville has music and that. And so we sort of do it down here for the season because we don't have enough full-time residents, to do it.
But maybe that will pick up.
Yes.
Right? And then maybe that's changed. An opportunity.
Used to be you didn't have live music but May, June, July, and August, on weekends. And now we're stretching it out further for some venues. And some venues, really some venues just want to coast through winter because it's
they're getting ready.
They're getting ready
up for the summer.
Yeah.
And so, but we have Mardi Gras coming up, which is a big entertainment time.
Will you be here in February?
Yes, we will.
It's March 1st, actually.
Or March 1st.
Yeah, we'll be here till about mid-April. But for a lot of snowbirds, they like to do pickleball. The community church has pickleball courts now, so that's a big thing. That's a draw. And we like to bike. We have our fat tire bikes. We bike on the beach every day.
Do you?
It's great, to be able to do that. And a lot of other winter Texans, they're out there shell collecting with their golf carts, and those kind of things are things.
What
people
about
like
the
to do.
weather? It's we had some snow, and we had some 40-degree days. Is that good to you?
Yeah, they come in short sleeves and shorts when I'm showing them homes. That was nothing.
And 40.
That's nothing.
That's like I was recording shows when we had that snow, and someone said something about an Arctic front, and I said, let me tell you, if I have blue jeans on, it's Arctic. Because I don't put them on unless we get down to about 38 degrees,
Yeah, and I wouldn't worry about the fact that you had snow because it snowed everywhere that time.
Yeah.
It snowed in Florida also, right? So, and South Padre is a little bit warmer, but they weren't comfortably warm those same days. Right. And like I said about the humidity, the being so much lower here regularly, and like I said, I check it all the time, has made it that much more comfortable where it's not really bothering me at all. I think it's a very comfortable temperature, right? And it doesn't get so hot that my husband's going, I gotta sit in the shade. It's great. It's fantastic.
Well, have you found a home yet?
We have. We put in an offer with Norma, and Norma has just been fantastic.
Great.
So
maybe we'll have to come back and do a housewarming when they get the keys and move in. Do it and show the fruits of their labor, of when they move into their new home. So, what are you going to do with the RV if you get a home?
Oh, that's right. So the RV gets sold, the pickup truck gets sold, and that is obviously cash flow towards purchasing the home. And you had asked me what about the process and stuff. And another thing that I would recommend is that Norma put me in touch with Robin of the Vacation Rentals, right? And you can ask some questions of how you
On
should
income?
approach thing. And,
Right.
Yeah, and she'll be very reasonable. She's not going to, give you this high number that you're counting on. She'll just give you a good budgetary number. And then I like to go on the rentals website and read all the reviews and see what are people looking for, what do they, if you think it's something you want to do.
Great, great. Well, there you have it, a true experience of not a local home buyer, but a national home buyer coming in and enjoying our 27 miles of beachfront paradise down here. Norma, Sharon, thanks for joining us. We're going to have to go and do a show when they move in here and show the fruits of it, so that'll be fun. We're going to head on out. Remember, this is a show we do every Monday at 11 a.m. Norma's always my co-host, unless, well, right now she's my co-host. So we're going to head on out. Until next time, I'm David with Bolivar Live. Y'all have a great day, great week. Come see us. God bless. Bye-bye.